opportunity for revenge. A best of one, you know, maybe that's the momentum you need to erase the results of the best of 5 loss in split 1. You get to move on forward with a huge lead in this group.
Of course, this is a double round robin. I'm not sure if each team just gets, you know, blue and red, or each team gets choice aside in the format. But we do have top esports.
I think it swaps.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that you're going to see both teams on both sides. But do get top esports on the blue side, still paying the Join B tax with not just the Rise now, but also the Galio, something that Join B played to good success earlier in the day to get their opening win against OMG. But yeah, it's a strong. It's pretty rare that we see Rumble actually let through, so a little bit surprising to see him slink his way through this draft and get the hands of 369.
Yeah, it's also just nice for top to snag it away before it does fall into Shanji's hands, who is such a prolific Rumble player, even during a lot of his games last year, when a lot of people were talking about Shanji around the world. But NIP are going to go for their fair share of solo laners. I'm curious that neither of them wanted to snag the Gwen, instead just going for the lockdown on the Mbessa and the Aurora. This will now come down to whether Aki wants to play something to facilitate it, with maybe like a Sejuani, if you really want to play towards the Shanji side of the map, or if you're going to play with the dive ruse.
He's doing it.
Yes! 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 Cubby, I'm going to be so annoying this game. I'm just letting you know right now. I have been preparing for this moment. I literally saw every Naafiri hover in all the games that I was casting, but I never got picked until I left for my shift of the day. Thank you, Top Esports. I don't care what happened at first stand. In my eyes, you are forgiven. Thank you. I'm looking forward to this match.
All right, well, Rafa, as a resident jungler, we saw Naafiri get a mid-scope rework. They swapped her R and her W. What has Naafiri in the jungle right now for everyone at home?
The thing that makes Naafiri so obnoxious is they gave her an untargetability in her W. It is a basic ability. Think about the annoying parts of Fizz and just put that on an AD assassin jungler. But now her ultimate, because it's swapped with her W, she's basically getting a rank 3 W. Because if you think about how like old Naafiri worked, your W range would scale based on your ultimate rank. And at max rank, it would be a 940 range. Now it's just a flat 900 as soon as you get it. So you have a decent range of being able to gap close. You get to cast it twice if you kill someone within the first 7 seconds of using that ultimate. So it's a decent reset. And the second time you cast it, you get a massive shield. So a lot of people are like sleeping on this champion. It's like, oh, this champion still seems pretty straightforward. No, this champion is just over-tuned. That is the big problem. And the fact that she has untargetability just makes her so difficult to play against.
You have some good synergy, too, with items like Cleaver, where I believe your dogs help stack that.
Yep.
And also, just the clear speed on the Fury right now, it's really quick. So, good to see Kanavi is usually on top of stuff. Hop on the Fury train. That said, on the flip side for NIP, big wombo showing here with the Aurora and the Viego. And Jin being blinded here by Leaf, who did find the Pog playing the Jin game 1 of the day, going up against OMG. And so he gets his hands on that one. I'd be curious to see if JackeyLove actually responds with MF. Okay, that's locked in. That's the play with the Alistar. But a lot of early game and wombo showing here from each of our teams, frankly.
Yeah, I know I definitely got carried away by the Naafiri, but just to kind of round out a lot of the discussion around NIP's composition, they snuck in a Viego, which is a jungler we don't actually see that often anymore because jungle is so important to being more of a facilitative role. But you have great burst options paired up with this Viego to easily get resets. So I like that Aki is basically looking at this Naafiri pick from Kanavi and saying, I'm going to reset harder than you. I'm going to carry harder than you. Now, Top Esports, as you called out, it's a huge early game centric composition through the bottom side of the map. You want to get this Misfortune out of lane super fast. You want to make these fast plays with the Alistar. You want to be able to roam to either of the side lanes with this Talia. I don't know who really wins the later this game goes. I will tell you, though, the more ability haste that Naafiri gets into a squishy composition that NIP relatively has, she's going to be even more oppressive.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a skill matchup here later on. Like both teams have elements that can break the later game, but for me,
yeah,
really like the really big thing is, does Viego get a reset or not? So that's, I think, definitely something to look out for early on. And second off, can we just see Top successfully wombo this? Because if not, I feel like Top is, for me, a little bit squishier like just of a team if I had to pick one of the two showings. So if they aren't able to, cleanly wombo for each of these teams, could prove to be rather disastrous. But I think whichever team gets to make the plays first, given how explosive these fights are looking, and just the fact that if a Viego gets a reset, that sometimes is all you need to win a fight. It's kind of going to be overlooming the game here. Definitely think the map control and just first engage is going to be really important for these teams. So, yeah.
Yeah. God, I'm so excited we're getting another Nefiri jungle game. Oh, thank you. I don't know what I did to deserve this.
Dogs are out, baby.
The dogs have been let loose. Oh, my God. For those that are just tuning in and probably seeing this Nefiri jungle, it is not the first Nefiri jungle that was picked in the LPL. That credit goes over to Junhao on Ultra Prime, and it did net them a pretty insane win over who did they stomp? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
They're 2-1, which is a big surprise in that group. They stomped the Thunder Talk to that game.
Was it Thunder Talk? Was that the group? It was yesterday. So that group had Thunder Talk, and man, everything is bleeding together now. The days are. This is what happens on the LPL.
Let's get off to a hot
schedule.
start here, Rafa.
Listen, man, it's always hot when I'm.
It's AL Ultra Prime, RNG Thunder Talk, yeah.
RNG is the team that they obliterated. That's right.
Well, that's not saying too much. Anyway.
Damn. Hey, man.
Yeah.
RNG did turn up later that day off of the back of a Jachi Kaisa performance. That actually was insane.
Yeah,
We're on to the
insane.
Rift. We're on to the Rift. And I thought JackeyLove and Chris were about to get jumped by ppgod and leave, but just maintaining bush control at the moment. First couple things I'm curious about what Kanavi decides to do is, as Nefiri, you really just want to full clear this first rotation, so not that different from a lot of carry-style junglers. You're just trying to get as much economy for yourself as possible. Your ganks pre-6 don't really exist. Like, you need strong CC setup, and you need the enemy laners that you're ganking to be really far pushed up, as early level 2 all-in, Chris just knows that they're going for the damage on the leave. JackeyLove steps up, Leave tries to trade one back, and the Ignite is going to take down Chris before JackeyLove can finish off Leave, and it's still not enough damage, and now JackeyLove, I mean, he's going to be forced to flash. Oh, he's going to trade it back. The cleanse on the stun baits Leave in, and at least it trades 1-for-1, but I think ppgod is going to have enough damage to be able to take him out, but here comes Kanavi. ppgod does finish him off, flashes over the wall. What a hectic level 2 all-in.
I mean, bloodthirsty start here as ppgod picks up 2. A bit of a oopsie on the all-in here from Crisp and JackeyLove, as Crisp is way too far in. That creep did end up dying, granting level 2 over to Leave and ppgod. But yeah, just too far in where really no way for JackeyLove to follow up on that one off the bat. Taking a look, again, 2 was hit, but that bouncing bomb, it got the creep low enough to hit 2 right after, and then a good combo here from ppgod and Leave makes this one a little bit too easy to pick up the kill, and then afterwards, Leave's gonna try and do some spacing here. There are a couple iffy cancels that he ended up dropping. Like that, yeah, he canceled, it looks like 2 autos there. So JackeyLove got enough space to be able to actually get in and get the kill, but a bit of a interesting / goofy start here to start off this game. And I gotta say, last 2 times that these teams met, it was, of course, the gentleman's sweep for top esports in the lower bracket of the LPL playoffs. I felt like the big difference maker in that series was the bot lane play. So for Leave and ppgod to start with the kill is big, but meanwhile on top side,
interesting that they had 369 take the turret first, since Kanavi, you can always just drop the turret aggro with W, but you know what? They got the kill, burned a couple of flashes out of it. Shanji forced to TP back to this wave once he respawns on the map. 369 is up.
I mean, that's the whole wave lost too, so that's a massive win for top esports in the top side.
These are the shenanigans you can pull off with Nefiri jungle too. Is like not only you can dodge certain abilities, but you can really extend turret aggro with these dives and just dropping it. We'll see if Kanavi continues to kind of extend these plays. But the fact that both bot laners have burned multiple sums, I imagine that should be a hot spot for Aki and Kanavi respectively in the next couple of minutes. As both Aki, he's seen some action from Kanavi, at least trying to affect his top lane, and then trying to pick up the pieces on ppgod when he was chasing JackeyLove. And Chris, Hex Flash, really wants to put the pain in onto Leave. Decent damage. Chris absorbs it really well. Last bullet takes a chunk out of Chris' health bar, but JackeyLove is just pouring in the auto attacks. Not doing enough to really force Leave out, as now JackeyLove is falling thanks to the ignite from ppgod. Might be forced to run away. Chris is blocking as much as he can. JackeyLove just one more auto attack. Gone. Down goes ppgod, and enough. The double up passive. Nicely done by JackeyLove and Chris.
The extended trade, it just ends up going over to JackeyLove, and I think a big part of it was the focus early on. The Leave ppgod, they were hitting Crisp during Aftershock. They dumped so much damage to him, whereas JackeyLove was just hitting Leave, and that meant that the trade that just extended continued. I mean, get another look at this one. Again, the start of this, JackeyLove stays on Leave for the entirety of this. Meanwhile, Leave hitting Crisp. Is it decent damage on Chris? Yes, but there's an Aftershock. That caught the 4th shot from Leave. If that doesn't happen with the trap, maybe they're able to get Chris low enough to actually threaten this. That said, I mean, it just continues. Chris able to step in front, take that. Great trading of health bars here from the top esports bot lane, and the kill got JackeyLove enough mana to get a double lift in, make sure they wrapped up this kill, and now they're ahead. They've rotated up. Goodbye, Shanji.
Yeah, he's not level 6 either, and no flash. That's an easy turret dive to extend, and JackeyLove is the one that picks up the kill credit. 4 kills for this misfortune. Already had a BF sword to his name. I imagine that he should be able to pick up his first item after being able to push in this wave. And this is a very fed, very accelerated misfortune.
This is a massive problem, because when MF gets this far ahead, if you get an early BT in the game, that's one of the most oppressive items you can open up with.
Yeah.
If you get economy like this, your ability to throw your weight around when no other items exist in the game, it's unlike anything else if you're an AD in this one. And you're giving this to JackeyLove, of all people, the AD that loves to step up and is one of the few ADs that, for me, like, has the MF pass across the world because of how forward, how aggressive he plays when he gets out of this champion. So for me, this is a huge lead for top esports early on, with MF having a lead like this and the first 3 grubs going over to top esports. Their ability to try and pressure the map, pressure some of these plates, is going to be something that NIP is going to really struggle to deal with, especially with how far behind their top laner is. Shanji is still kind of in the Stone Ages here.
Yeah. And if we look at what Kanavi has been able to do on the map while kind of managing his resource allocation and income, he hasn't dropped that many camps in order to get a lot of things done on the map. Whereas Aki, he's gotten at least 1 dragon now down for NIP. But if we're realistically looking at just overall impact, top esports have really done a lot to affect and accelerate certain solo laners here. JackeyLove just probably a couple more waves away from being able to fully purchase this Bloodthirster, as you called it out. I'm not sure how NIP are going to really be able to deal with this, because you try to go for chunks, he's just going to heal off the wave. You really have to just make a Hail Mary play and try to all in the misfortune if you really want to get back in the game.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shanji jumps into a overheated rumble, trades out the best he can. Does have electrocute, but 369 is up, healthy and huff, and that wave is frozen. Shanji has to back up. He's just going bad, from bad to worse here if you are NIP. So Shanji gonna dip in the fog. They spot Kanavi.
Oh, flash W right on time, but there's the untargetable. Buys enough time. There is the Hound's Pursuit. Gets the 1 reset, looks for another one, flashes over the wall. And Kanavi on the Nefiri. He's barking on him.
Oh, that shield was huge. Was able to survive the Viego ult, the execute, get on out. That's a lot invested as Shanji went down again. And look at that bot wave. 369 not only gets to collect all of it, but denied all of it from Shanji. He is legitimately up a level and a half, almost 2 levels now after that one. Again, things just really tough for Shanji to open up with this one. And getting replay, it's the flash to guarantee the stun from Aki. It's synced up well, but Leaf can't connect with the Deadly Flourish because of the untargetable from Kanavi. Then the reset gives him the shield. That's enough to make sure that he can tank his way out. Beautiful flash over the wall. Kanavi put that one really well to get on out.
And if you think that this Nefiri is going to be already that hard to kill, with the Eclipse bot, it just makes the Nefiri even more deceptively durable and tanky. Now, Doinby successfully... Actually, they weren't able to yoink the blue buff away. Bummer for NIP. Down about 2,000 gold. Not necessarily a game over state. As ppgod is just going to lead the charge, and Creme... Yeah. That's pretty hard to dodge out on if you don't have flash.
He was down flash. I didn't exactly see how Creme lost that one, but yeah, there's no way to get out of that one. Good guaranteed play being called there from NIP. Did use the Rel flash. It's a pretty nice one to guarantee the play. Always feels like with Rel, when you have flash up, the ability to have a super play, it's there, and that's going to be something that NIP will not have access to for the upcoming Grub and Dragon spawns. So Top Esports still the team ahead that has a... I mean, they're showing a lot of power right now. When you have a 10-minute Bloodthirster in the inventory of an MF and an Eclipse that was already in the inventory of the Fury pre-10, the world's kind of your oyster, right? And not the flying oyster kind that bit them in the ass back in first stand. It's a good oyster this time around.
Well, maybe they're showing the gumption that CFO shocked and impressed the world with over at the first stand tournament as Top Esports just really shift all their power onto the second rotation. There is a ward in that pit from the side of NIP, but because of the control ward, Top Esports blanket out the vision. No chance for a contest. And you've got 6 grubs fully secured by Top Esports. This is going to be really nice for their split push situation now. Creme still down a flash. Overextended on the top lane. Thought he was safe because the rest of his team was going for the grubs. But, you know, Diego being able to sneak in like that, that's a way to punish it.
It is. Again, false sense of security from Creme, as you called out. But still, like, that play is being traded for 6 grubs now on Top Esports. And a BT MF, it's so hard to move from the lane. Like, what Top Esports can get in the next couple of minutes, I really just want to see them throw resources into one of these side lane turrets, try and knock it down, abuse the grub lead that you have. As 369 almost has a second plate off the bot side turret. And Kanavi actually going to take some time out of his day to take the dragon.
He's got not that many camps to go for. We'll let the
big,
Raptors
but, you know,
respawn.
You could send... Oh, okay. Goodbye, ppgod.
Yeah. ppgod not feeling too big right now. Flaccid, for sure. Kanavi does take him down, as the rest of the Dragon should be going over to Top Esports. Shanji just getting marked and bullied by 369. Equalizer's going to deal decent damage. Maybe Kanavi. I think he still has the Hound's Pursuit to get in range for the second reset. Yep, there it is. Oh my god, I love this champion. Oh, it is a beautiful abomination, and it's probably going to get nerfed, but enjoying it for now, Matt.
I mean, for now, it looks like he's playing Bel'Veth with Empowered Farm. Like, it has a bunch of things just spawning around the turret, as it was 2 grubs and 3 dogs that spawned. Kanavi going to get all the pups he can out of there, but, I mean, the siege is on for Top Esports. And again, the trades, the plays that we saw early on from Aki, like, it felt like neither grub was really contestable here for NIP, and now you just have to survive the onslaught of 6 grubs. When you give the best teams in the world 6 grubs, that does feel like a death sentence. And what Top Esports has already gotten, it's looking pretty grim for NIP. As we're going to look again, ppgod sniff around this dragon, see if he can get anything. Instead, face checks a cow and a dog. And Rel doesn't like that one very much. And meanwhile, 369 land the smackdown still on Shanji. I say that he was just smacked down by Shanji and Aki in live, but
it was not
still,
a true 1v1. Dishonorable.
Yeah, I mean, like, the scoreboard is 8-5 in kills, but it just doesn't feel like these kills from NIP are impactful at all. It's like post plays or consolation prizes, and Top Esports are the ones with 6 grubs that are dictating the map.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they are. Where thankfully for NIP, we're not at the state of the game where pity prizes are online and you can really go for the objective bounties, but it's borderline close. I mean, Top Esports have, what, a 4,000 gold advantage at this point. It's pretty hard to fight 5-on-5s against Top Esports given the state of a lot of these item specs that they have online at now. Leave is still working towards his first item. Shanji just picked up his Eclipse, so now he's slightly stronger, but still, as Mbessa, as we've seen from multiple Mbessa games throughout the LPL season, you really want to be on 2 items before you get to do the Mbessa montage gaming.
Shojin's important.
Yeah, I mean, you just need that ability haze for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like, speaking of the race to items too, Kanavi with where he's at, he's gonna have Cleaver before Shanji's even close to finishing his second item. That ability haste is really important for Nefiri too, because that Q spam, again, a lot of your damage comes with the second Q. It's kind of a nuke in your kit if you're able to hit both. So the ability to just spam, and of course the shred that Black Cleaver gives you, is quite nice if you are Nefiri and you are Kanavi, as that camp just disappeared.
Well, he's able to dodge one of the abilities with the Eviscerate, and then Call of the Pack gives him the untargetability, which makes it so frustrating to play against if you are not the Nefiri. But if you are the Nefiri, then you're loving life right now, because you're just abusing a gift that Riot Games has given to this champion on this patch.
Yeah, I mean, this patch we really got the true mentality of like Riot game designers when it comes to newer champs, which is like, oh, why not just give them another mechanic, right? Kind of here with the Fury.
Guys, we really need the Fury to be in pro play. What can we do? All right, let's swap the ult into W. That's not enough. Keep him coming. What can we do? Oh, we can give her a Fizz untargetability. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Release the forbidden texts. What can we make? What can we use to make this champ strong?
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they just have like a folder backstage. It's like, okay, what are some forbidden things that would just absolutely make this champion oppressive?
Line heal, untargetable, a global, and a forever scaling passive. Put them in the same champ.
Yeah.
The champ's not going to be strong at all.
Put them all on a dartboard and then just, you know, let one sail fly, and yeah, that's it. Anyway. Meanwhile, Top Esports secure Rift Herald without any real contest.
Yeah.
Consolation prize, the Scuttle Crab does go to the way of NIP. And the reason why for our little rant is just NIP don't really have any business in being able to contest Top Esports in even fights right now. They're just kind of hoping that Top Esports are going to mess up in one of these rotations and they can try and jump on one of the squishier targets here, because that is the saving grace for NIP's game, is that they have a lot of burst damage. If they can hit those power spikes, there's no true tanks on the side of Top Esports outside of Chris. And even then, if the Alistar doesn't have ultimate, he's not the hardest thing to kill.
Yeah, it's just the maps, as you're seeing at home right now, very difficult to play. You can't move the Rumble. Talia is able to clear waves and then fog to at least always threaten the fact that she can help the team. And now Creme going to threaten this corridor with any sort of rocks and flicks against NIP. They're wrapping up the siege on the mid outer. Going to throw the ult out. Leave.
Yep.
Sidestep.
Wall separates Lee from the rest of his teammates. He's forced to flash over. A bullet time from JackeyLove. That's your finals first split MVP right there. Completely eviscerating NIP. Shanji comes in just to die. You're not going to get that much done when Top Esports are rocking this kind of gold lead and smacking you with the thicker wallets. Top Esports, again, racking up, I don't know how many more kills that was. They're now 11-5 on the map.
I mean, we wanted fireworks. Talk about some fireworks, man. Top Esports is running away with this game. The untargetable from Kanavi, yet again coming up massive there. Was able to get out of... Oh, we're going to see it in the replay. Weaver's Wall cast is going to secure the turret, threaten Leave. Good sidestep by Leave, but has to flash over. And then keep your eyes on Kanavi. The combo comes out from ppgod, but got out of the stun from Viego. Missed out of the damage from the R as well. And then able to sidestep that hidden public execution from over the wall as Shanji melts after that. Everything looking pretty calm, cool, and collected here in the Top Esports camp. Coaches are like, yeah, I can't even be proud of that one. They're up too much. Can't even enjoy the win. It's just smacking around with the walls. You said, Rafa.
Guy on the right is like, yes, we're winning. The first two guys are like, I mean, we knew this should be happening with the Fury Jungle guys.
The guy on the right was the uneducated dopamine enjoyer. Then the people on the left are like the sweaters like me, where it's like, oh, you know, we missed this ability, or W didn't hit. It could have been that. Could have moved like this, you know.
Hey, you know what? That is the right mentality to have, because, you know,
in a way, yes.
We can't just be resting on the laurels. I mean, yes. good to have fun, but also just to always find what can be improved upon.
I mean,
for top esports.
If you rest on laurels, then that's where you get like the disaster of winning a domestic split into flopping internationally into like the worst performance the region has had in a long time. You know?
Yeah, I wonder who that might relate to. 20 seconds away from the 20-minute mark. Top esports should have full control of being able to just rip the Otacon whenever they want at this point. Probably won't really go for it unless they are guaranteed no contest from NIP. You still don't want to give them a window back into this game. But with a 6,000 gold advantage, I think we are just a couple of good, solid fights away from top esports being able to close out this game. And I mean, this is the momentum and the force that you really want to be seeing out of the reigning LPL champion, and not what we got at first stand. But you know what? Top esports being able to come into this group, hopefully resolve a lot of doubts that any of us maybe on the desk might have had going into the first day of group stage for these guys. As 369 forced to flash away. Curtain call from Leave. Oh, this is a really nice flank angle from Shanji. Does he have the damage, though? Finds JackeyLove alongside ppgod, and good snipe from Leave. Finds JackeyLove on the backside, but 369 comes in with the flame spitter, burns down ppgod, looking for Shanji next, and the rest of top esports did away with the reinforcements that NIP had to offer, and unfortunately for JackeyLove, got focused again. What else is new? But top esports still win the fight regardless.
What else is new? This time his jungler came to play, man. Kanavi's been wrecking this game and absolutely wrecked the backline of NIP while NIP was keeping JackeyLove busy. Shanji just way too far behind. I mean, again, top esports just continue to run away with this game, Rafa. And I mean, for me, this kind of throws a wrench into things in the group because I know a big question was, you know, what kind of version of top will we get, the LPL version or not, but also for NIP. It's the regular season version of the playoff version, and this game got so out of control, it's kind of hard to judge, but anyway, on the replay, of course, we did see JackeyLove get melted, but meanwhile, on the flip side of the fight, Kanavi just went in 1v3, got a reset, and took down 2 with them. As I will say, I think one of the big perks about the change made in the Fury feels so much less one-directional now. As a champion, you still really heavily rely on these resets, but you actually, it's not just a one-way trip every single time you press your ult and go in. It really feels like you're a lot more flexible now, which I think is huge for the champion, and that on top of the untargetable being a mechanic that might have been a little bit overloaded for a champ like this.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty.
It's also the nature of how you want to build Nefiri now with these changes. You're not building full lethality, one-shotting a person and then just trading your life for it. As Doinb under fire, using the slipperiness of the Aurora. Might have gotten a little too close, though. Rebounding on the other side of that wall. Kanavi and Creme just going to say thank you for a kill. Force the 5-on-4. NIP under fire once again as ppgod gets punted. Shanji's going to try to solo out JackeyLove, but if he doesn't have help like last time, he's not going to be able to do it as successfully. Equalizer over the top. Leave, forced to leave. And the rest of top esports are just finishing off the rest of the NIP frontline. And now Leave, he was able to pick up a massive player of the game earlier on this gym, but this time around he's playing against top esports who are in fine form. The flash forward not going to make magic happen today. Top esports, a full side ace. I'm gonna push into the base. And NIP, this is over.
They've accepted their fate when you see flashes like that. You know, that felt like a speed up one, but man. What a performance from Kanavi, man. This brand new pick, his highest level in the game, I believe, after this fight. And we're going to take a second look. Doinb, one too many bunny hops in. You know, he couldn't find a third. He was trying to, the E backwards into the wall might have been a little bit of a mistake there as he was trying to find Kanavi. And then as the fight continues, JackeyLove does press R, gets the public execution on top of himself. And guess what? He's so far ahead that he pretty much wins that war. And while all that's going on, Kanavi just, again, wreaks absolute havoc on the top side of this fight with the help of Creme.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I'll say about how NIP are trying to play out these fights. First of all, it's just really tough when you're down this much gold. But I have to say that if you're going to play using a Viego composition, you really want a majority of your team focusing the same target so that you're guaranteeing the reset. But there's like different flanks happening. Shanji's like trying to occupy JackeyLove on one side of the fight. I feel like, I don't know, in a different world before the gold lead balloon to this massive 11,000 gold, maybe NIP will look back at the VODs and look at the earlier fights and say, hey, we need to really make sure that if we're going to play this Viego composition, we are playing strictly with Aki. But I don't know if that... I mean, I don't need to cast this.
That's gross. That's so gross, man.
Yeah.
Like, he flash and dashed out of that and still got flipped in.
I love Nefiri, baby.
Just doesn't even matter. It's not even like, did we play the fights right, too? I think looking back for NIP, I think it's really, did we play this map right? Like, what happened to give away the first 2 grubs for pretty much for free? And by the time the second grub spawned, it was already kind of doomed, but I still think that, like, I pitched this early on, NIP, they found the first 2 kills in the bot lane against JackeyLove. I felt like the real difference maker in this playoff series was JackeyLove and Chris going up against the even ppgod. They were for sure a difference maker in this one, but also 369 on his rumble just put Shanji into the ground with the rest of the team. Like, so you came out of this, and there were 2 lanes winning super heavily for top esports, which that's what made this game so hard for NIP.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you get like peak form Kanavi. When Kanavi is very not only proficient on his economy, but he's also making very timely ganks and accentuating leads.
It's a 3 double lead.
Yeah.
That's chill.
Poor Shanji doesn't even get a chance to walk to the wave. Takes a full equalizer. But the fact that Kanavi full clears, makes a routine dive onto the top side, gets a flash out, then calls over the entire bot side of top esports to just further put that matchup into the ground. And now Kanavi just gets to have fun on the map, man. I mean, this is like peak Nefiri solo queue gameplay where the map is so ruined on the other side. You just run around and just try to see how fast you can delete someone. It's the best part.
He didn't even go for, like, the max delete build. It's a death stance. It's going to give him some
but here's the thing.
But no
here's
Shojin.
The beauty. The fact that Call of the Pack gives you bonus AD, you still are hitting, like, really high damage levels, even with a bruiser build. That's what makes it so obnoxious as ppgod gets caught out. It's really, I mean, but I can't really fault him. It's a 12,000 gold deficit that NIP have to climb for.
He's got to go for the Hail Marys at this point. As Aki has at least a somewhat creative angle, but we'll see if he waits for ppgod to come back or if he pulls the trigger.
This is a Trinity Force Collector Viego. If he can find a squishy target and look for the reset, you know, maybe, just maybe, something might happen. But top esports have already destroyed 2 Nexus towers. Shanji into the back line. There's the flank end. Good night.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the attempt was made, but the attempt was quelled, and top esports just completely destroyed NIP. Doing a little bit of a rematch of what happened in the first split lower bracket playoffs. The top esports clean house, taking down NIP.
I mean, that was anything but the most exciting match of the night that we were hoping for. That was a complete stomp at the hands
Cubby,
of Kanavi's Nefiri.
To quote a very famous, iconic esports moment, brutal, savage, wrecked. That is what happened.
Bark, bark. Yeah, something like that.
Let's go, Kanavi. Superstar performance on the Nefiri, and something that I have come to love about Kanavi over the years is when he's playing at his highest form. Hey, man, someone had to go for the
double best around robin. All right, I still feel good about the NIP pick.
We'll see what happens in the second round, in the second matchup.
Yeah.
You know, the copium for you is that Nefiri can't be played again the next time these 2 teams meet. So you don't have.
Is that actually how it works?
I think that's how Fearless Best of Ones work. Like, the second time they meet around, you cannot pick any of the champions that were picked.
I don't think that's how it works, but hey, that'd be kind of funny if that's the case.
I mean, if they say it's Fearless Best of Ones and that's not how it works, then why are we calling it Fearless Best of Ones? That just makes no sense.
Because everything's fearless now.
Put down the question mark. I'm right. Like, even if there is, like, if they're saying it's Fearless Best of Ones and that's not how it works, then why do we call it Fearless Best of Ones?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because it's a meme. Also, I don't think Nefiri's getting played again because they're gonna ban that next time. I think Kanavi's earned that ban.
Okay. Well, you know what? I was fed wrong information because I was told that we are having Fearless Best of Ones in a double round robin.
Oh yeah, it's just it's not within the series. It's swapped within each game, so there's no Fearless.
Then why are we calling it Fearless? Anyway.
Because everything's Fearless now, Rafa. We're in a new generation of League of Legends. Right?
The nomenclature and the naming is so dumb. Anyway, whatever. What's important is that Top Esports pulled out Nefiri for Kanavi. And as I was trying to allude to in my earlier point, is that when Kanavi has been in his peak form in prior seasons, in his LPL career, he has been one of the few junglers that jumps on the opportunity to play any of the newer champions that get buffed in the jungle, or things that are like the newer playstyles and any of the heavy patch changes. He's usually one of the first adapters to go for it. He's not one of the junglers that just plays the same old whatever the coach is recommending, or the team is asking, like, hey, can you really please play Sejuani for us this game?
Ignores the coach. No. Yeah.
That's right. We're playing Nefiri. This champion got buffed. We didn't see Darius jungle at first stand, but Kanavi was prepping for it. He was spamming Darius jungle in solo queue. Unfortunately, that got nerfed on this patch, and it's still strong, but it's nowhere near as oppressive because they nerfed the clear speed by, I think they nerfed the jungle monster damage from 300% to 200%, so your clear speed is not as obnoxious. So it probably doesn't have the same value as before if you can't just blitz through the jungle and then, like, monster your way all over the rift. But you know what? It's okay, because now we have Nefiri jungle, and that will be the new flavor for Kanavi to, play for. As, obviously, this game didn't start out with Kanavi ripping through the map. It started with, a hectic all-in on the bot side of the map.
I mean, it was a really bloody bot lane, and of course, while all this was going on down here, 369 was just kind of keeping Shanji under his turret and getting some help to make sure the dives put Shanji just miles behind. As this was the second dive that came onto the Ambessa, and from here, I mean, this was already after JackeyLove had 3, then 4 kills, and then you are up 2 levels top lane, and then you get 3 grubs and 6 grubs. I mean, these are all just like things solo that make for hard games for teams, but compounded made for an extremely one-sided game in favor of Top Esports off the back of this Nefiri pick, which looked really, really good. I don't know what else to say, man. All this thing did was make plays.
Yeah, I mean, the way Top Esports played this game, it seemed like they were playing against a far worse team. And,
well, careful about that. They lost to the Oysters. That was perceived as the worst team. Yeah,
I mean, well, what I mean is in the context of the LPL League. Like, when we look at how everything shook up in...
It's domestic Top Esports. It's fine,
I'm saying relative to this game. Like, this stomp was so dominant that you wouldn't have expected that it was for the defeat of a team like NIP based on what we got from them out of the first stage or the first split. So, not the most... man, I'm really trying to be polite, but, I mean, NIP just got bodied, so...
Oh, yeah, no,
they got one more game, later on in the day, and at least, they had a fairly convincing game earlier today against, OMG, so, this game they can... The copium angle is just, okay, guys, we disrespected Nefiri, now we know what she does, we're not gonna let that happen again. And maybe it'll be business as usual. Trying to trust in the Leaf Jin, and unfortunately, Leaf Jin didn't get a chance to shine because the game just blew wide open before he got online. A lot of the champions that they really had high hopes for didn't get a chance to really come online.
You're playing a reset comp, and you find yourself like up against a sub 10 Eclipse and BT, Nefiri and MF. And your top laner's down 2 levels with that. That's a pretty tough recipe for success. And then down 6 grubs. I think NIP can kind of look at that game and write it off at a certain point. That Nefiri champ seems really strong from what we've seen so far. The intargetable is not okay. So I feel like NIP can gather themselves for the upcoming game they have against FBX later in the night as the player of the game. Wow, would you look at that, Rafa? Who would have thought?
I
no
mean,
way.
Yeah. If if it had gone to anyone else, there would be some serious investigation that needed to be done. Both me and Cubby would have to step out of the casting booth and fly over to the LPL studio immediately and start asking who needs to get their fan vote or their vote card revoked. Come on, man. I mean, it was all in the Fury. That was the big focus. But, you know,
it's a bold trip you have planned there, Rafa.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, Matt. I don't know if other teams are going to let Nefiri go through for the rest of the group stage or the rest of this patch because, you know, it's one thing for, you know, a plucky team like Ultra Prime to pull out a win with Nefiri, but for a top team to show that, like, yeah, this is what happens when you give us Nefiri and you play against a reasonably competitive team like NIP, I don't think we see this champion anymore. I think it gets banned or P teams are not confident to play enough with it.
We'll see. I mean, I think it's definitely a champion where they released the patch preview today. I didn't see if Nefiri was a part of it, but it for sure is a champ where, given the strength of it, especially in solo queue where it's like really running the rift right now, as a team playing a competitive season, it's almost reasonable to be like, you know what? We think that's going to be nerfed in 2 weeks. Do we have to deal with it? Like, we just ban it against the teams that play it? That is a real question to ask, right?
Yeah.
Because how strong is it going to be after the changes? And that's a very valid question. Or, you know, how strong is it going to be if they maybe change the fact that you can go untargetable? Because that seems to be where the vast majority of the strength of this champion lies. Because you get to push as hard as Nefiri does and also have an untargetable ability and then a Q2 that is like a complete nuke and stack ability haste to feel really good about your life. That's a pretty strong champion that a lot of people are using to pretty good success right now.
I would love to believe that they would just say, oh, you know what? The untargetability from Call of the Pack, it makes her really, really oppressive to deal with. We can just remove that. But that would be going back on a design decision. And I don't think that would happen. I think they would just rather nerf the stats instead and just see how that plays out instead. So, but anyway, that does it for game numero 4. When we come back, we got game number 5 on your screen. So make sure you stay tuned.